So, how hard is to get into the professional academy? Let me explain it to and let's break down this topic. My name is Daniel and I am a football development coach, and right now I'm working in the biggest academy in the Czech Republic. And if you want to get access to my course and community, then click the link down below in the description. The cost is $47 and it is a one-time payment. Grab the tea, sit down and enjoy the video. So, firstly, who I am. In the beginning of the video, I said that I'm working in the biggest academy in our country. I'm just starting in this academy, okay? But by the time we'll go, I will have stronger and stronger position in the club. But it doesn't matter, yeah? What matter is that I know our philosophy and I know the philosophy of other clubs, because I'm I'm in this coaching area for a good time, but the most important is that I know a lot of academy coaches. I talk with them. I know the philosophy of some academies, and in general, I believe that I can give you some informations and that I can give you a visions of the club, how they work and what is their mission, and how where they find the players and what kind of players they want to get and to develop, you know. So let's start it. How hard it is. That it is possible even to get into professional academy. The answer is simple. Yes, it is very, 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 again, very, for the first time, very, very possible. I say it 5 times, yeah. It is possible. Why? Because firstly that you should change your thinking about the academies. Academies are not just some clubs that are closed for everyone, yeah, that where you can get if you are very, very lucky. No, in the academies you have the best players in the countries or in the region, and what their goal is to develop the best players the for the senior team, for the first team, or for the other bigger clubs than them. Because when I'm talking about academies, a lot of people are thinking probably about the England academies, like I know Manchester United, Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool. Uh, I know that kind of academies, which is you can get into that academies. I'm again saying that it's possible. It's harder to get to this kind of academies than to academies like, for example, uh, to Norwich Academy or to Fulham, Southampton Academy, and they're not bad academies. Okay, I don't want to say that they're bad academies. I just want to say that they are slightly below these big academies. And what's happening is that a lot of times they, you know, they take a player from some low division, for example, they develop him and he stays in the team, and he plays like the third, second division, no, the first division, Premier League, or if they're very, very good, if they're the best in the team, then they got into the Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, yeah, this kind of academies. And you don't need to get in the young age, in when you are 16, 70, 80, into this kind of academies. When you get into this kind of academies, it doesn't matter that you will be a professional player who plays for Barcelona for 100%. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Sorry, it doesn't mean like that. It just means that you are playing for bi- for the biggest academy in the country. You have experience of playing in the big academy, the really large academy, and and just because you play for this kind of academies doesn't matter that you will be for 100% a professional footballer. You know that if you are that all of the players who are in the Chelsea, it doesn't matter that they just have a free life because they will be for 100% professional players. No, they have just chances to work with the really top coaches, professional coaches. They have a chance to go to other countries to play some tournaments. Yeah, but in general, I think, and it's just my opinion. I'm not saying that it is true, but I think it doesn't matter if you are playing for Manchester City or for Fulham, for example. Yeah, because at the end of the day, those that these two teams, they are very good. It is they are Premier League teams, and they have similar training grounds. Yeah, but but what I want to say, if you really want to ju- get into the professional level, then I recommend you to play for some team like Southampton that have a good, very strong academy, instead of playing for some. And now I don't want to be bad. Sorry to all Arsenal fans, but then for example for Arsenal, and Arsenal has a good academy, but I think that it's much better for your career to play in some smaller team who has that vision that their main goal is to sell their homegrown players. It's much better to join them than to join some Arsenal or I know some teams like that. Yeah, and let's now talk from my position from academy coach position. Yeah, which is I talk about. I In this position I've been the for the whole video. Yeah, but now let's talk about how we develop the players, because we as a Slavia, I work in Slavia Prague, which is the biggest academy in our country. We are at the same level. I can say that we are at the same level or at the very similar level as a Manchester United, Chelsea, let's say Anderlecht, Barcelona, like this kind of teams. We are not some bad team. No, we have a very good youth teams, very good academy, the biggest academy in the most successful academy in our country. We have a lot of good homegrown players who are playing not just for national team but also for in some big leagues or in the first and the second Czech division. But and now I need to think about this more because I don't want to tell you some bullshits. I don't want to talk about some bullshits, but in general, how we want to develop our players. We want to not create, but yeah, create some foundation. Uh, the main team in the U13 or U14 around that age, and then we don't want to just some do big changes. Yeah, by the time we'll go, we want to just maybe bring some one player or two players. Maybe someone will leave. Yeah, and by the time we'll go, we want to develop that players. And how we find them? We find them by just having a partnership with the small clubs, semi-professional clubs or amateur clubs, and we want to take their best players. We want to train with them, and then we want to see if they have that potential to one day play for the first team. And if yes, then we take him to our club. If no, then we are not taking him, but they are they are training like they train with their main team, yeah, but they also train with us. And if we decide that this is the player that can play for the first team one day, then we will bring him to our academy. And by that we are developing the players, and we have like a similar system compared to others, if I want to say like that. Like we are also playing against the biggest clubs in in Europe. We are playing in the biggest tournaments in Europe. We are trying to gain experience by playing with other teams, with the biggest academies in Europe, and by that we want to get better and better and develop our players. But what I want to say, how you can get into the professional academy, like for example Slavia. When you By the time we'll go, it will be much harder to join our academy, and it doesn't mean that it's impossible, it just means that you need to it will take a bunch of work, but you can one day join our academy. And if now, for example, you are not that good for Slavia Academy, or we don't want to bring a lot of players, because the reason why we don't want to take you is not just because it's not only because you're not that good enough. It's also because we don't want to to change the team a lot, you know. So if you, for example, can play for us, then you can go to another club, smaller clubs, who and they are good clubs. I'm not saying that they are bad, but they are small, much smaller than or not that much smaller, but in general they're smaller than Slavia Prague, for example. Yeah, and in these academies you have a real chance to get into the professional scene, to play for to play in second division, in the first Czech division, and then you can develop and develop. Yeah, but if you're from England, then you have not a problem, but it's very hard to join a academy. If you're in the countries like Czech Republic, Slovakia, Poland, for example, yeah, Aus- Austria, then it is not that hard to join some academies, to some to join some academy, yeah, than it is in England. So if you are a very talented player you and you didn't join a Slavia Prague, then you have a good, a very good chance, a very high chance to join some other professional academy who are very, very good in developing young players. And this topic is very long. I don't want to talk about this for 3 hours straight. Maybe one day I will, but now it is more general. Like, this is just my opinion and how I see this world of academies, and it is also from my experience. Yeah, by talking to academy players, by talking to academy coaches, and etc. If you want to get access to my course where I'm talking about how to join a professional academies, a professional academy, and I break down everything, starting from how to choose a position and finishing to nutrition, strength, workout, and etc. Thank you very much for your attention. Click the link down below in the description, and the most important, enjoy your journey.